Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC, presents Comedy Appetizers, a podcast where you will find short comedy sets, stories, and funny bits from the famous and not so famous. Here is your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Hi, and welcome to this week's bonus show. Hey, we have something fun for you. First is a 1982 TV magazine show, Weeknight, hosted by Betty Vasquez and Harry Martin. And in the beginning, you'll hear him talking about my new room. It was when I moved into the Firehouse location, which was, I think, the best comedy club ever designed. And again, this was in 82 when I moved out of the Delta Queen restaurant and into my own space. And in the first part, they interviewed Jeff Altman. He happened to be the headliner that week, and he was on the Dukes of Hazzard TV show at the time. And then right after that, there's a short interview and some comedy impressions by another great comic, Jeff DeHart.
What a crowd, what a crowd.
Isn't this marvelous? If this is any indication, Harry, this is going to be the spot in Sacramento.
That's right. Betty and I are first nighters. This is the brand new Laughs Unlimited. Used to be right down the street.
This is the grand opening, their first official night for business. They were just around the corner just a couple of days ago, and now they're right next door to the famous Firehouse restaurant.
That's right.
You ought to know.
The Firehouse restaurant right across from the back door, Firehouse Alley, right next to the Clarendon Hotel. I think I did that pretty good. You ought to be able to find it. It's now got a lot of space in it, and of course they always have these great new comedians that seem to be coming out every day and they show up on the Tonight Show and things like that.
Jeff Altman is going to be joining us tonight live, and we have another impressionist.
That's right, a guy also named Jeff.
And they also named Jeff.
And we've got a magician, all kinds of things. But first.
Okay, but first.
See, that's the normal thing we always say on this show.
That means be quiet, Betty. It's my turn to talk.
Well, we're just chuckling here with Jeff Altman. You know that little bumper slide that came up said, "Remember this man." Remember that series, The Pink Lady and Jeff? It came out, what?
I've forgotten it completely now, Mary. It's just, what series? People say, what series? I say, what series?
It was on for how long, Jeff?
It was on for about 15 minutes.
Is that
It was on for 5 weeks on NBC, and they were two Japanese girls, of course, who could not speak English, but this was the brainchild of Fred Silverman.
Weren't they big stars in Japan?
Tremendous. They sold $100 million worth of records in Japan, and then Freddie Silverman had the idea to put two singing stars, Japanese descent, with an American comic. They're now back in Japan doing this. What? Freddie Silverman? Silverman. No letters, folks.
How did Fred decide on you to be the comedian for that show, by the way? Where did he see you?
I was under contract to NBC at the time. I had done some light janitorial work over there in Burbank, and then they spotted this guy, and I'm being funny, and they said, give him a show.
But a lot of people remember you now because of your role in The Dukes of Hazzard.
Right, that's right. I play a recurring character on that show called Huey Hogg.
Any relation to Boss Hogg?
Exactly, his identical twin nephew. And they put padding on me, and I wear a big hat, and I talk stupid. The kids know what I'm talking about.
It's also the show where there are a lot of cars bumping into one another and tipping over, a big macho kind of role. Are you part of all of that, Jeff?
On Dukes of Hazzard? Mm-hmm. No, I'm not macho at all. As a matter of fact, it's about a step away from total effeminacy. No, I'm just big and dumb, kind of.
I understand you have a possible series coming up for yourself.
Yeah,
The Pink Lady? No.
That's pretty funny, Harry. Okay. I did a pilot for Aaron Spelling. You know, he does The Love Boat, and he's got about 5 shows on the air, and he's exclusive to ABC. So I'm hoping that ABC will make a positive decision at the end of April, and I'll be back on the air.
A little bit of love on the tugboat.
A little bit of love on the tugboat, Mama. Hey.
Is this your first time you've ever appeared in Sacramento?
It's the first time I've ever been to Sacramento, and I'm amazed. It's like a small eastern Connecticut town.
Is that
I'm from back east. It's just beautiful, and it's so clean
Weather's
and
just wonderful.
Delightful weather. I played tennis all day. Sure.
And you do some great impressions. I remember those great impressions you used to do now and then. Don't do them now because you're saving them for your act, aren't you?
Right. Of course. As a matter of fact, this is a state capital, you know, and I start feeling like I'm a Republican or a Democrat or something, and there's no joke here. Help me, Harry. I'm not going to do any impressions.
Oh, are you in luck? We're getting the wind-up. Anyway, I know you're getting ready to go on.
Yeah.
He's got to check over his ad-libs. Anyway, thank you very much. Jeff Altman.
Great club. Come down and see us.
You're here at Laughs Unlimited for how long?
Through Sunday.
Through Sunday.
About 15 minutes.
Right. Stop by and see him. More Weeknight in just a moment. Well, there's another headliner here at Laughs Unlimited this week, Jeff DeHart. I'm sure you might recognize him from doing Rod Serling in what, the Boggle commercial?
Yeah, it's a game called Boggle, Parker Brothers game. Where people on a bus. And...
Let's have a little ride.
Yeah,
little ride.
Give us a taste.
You're traveling to another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. Welcome to Laughs Unlimited. So that's a quickie there.
Terrific.
And you do some unusual ones. You said David Brenner.
Yeah, David Brenner. David's a good friend of mine. Hi, how you doing? You want to hear something weird? You got to come over to Laughs Unlimited. It's a great show. Got Jeff Altman here this week. Bruce Smirnoff, Jeff DeHart. What a show. It's terrific. I might even drop by.
Terrific. How about, who's your favorite? Who do you especially like?
David Brenner and Johnny Carson. Johnny's...
Come on, you got to give it done.
Are you ready? You ready for this big game? Jeff Altman also does a great Johnny Carson. But we might do dueling Carson. Jeff on. We'll do it.
You're great.
Terrific. That's Jeff DeHart. He's going to be here through Sunday along with Jeff Altman and a bunch of other people. Right now, our show is over. We really appreciate you coming by.
Jeff DeHart was a terrific comic. He was the featured act that week, but he was soon headlining for me. He did some great comedy and a lot of terrific impressions, as you heard. And that interview celebrating the opening of my new room in Firehouse Alley was a big deal for me, so I'm glad I was able to share that with you.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Comedy Appetizers. Be sure to share with family and friends, and we will see you this Sunday for our regular podcast, your host and MC, and again next Friday for another episode of Comedy Appetizers. Bye!